Hello, welcome to Cinema Savvy, and welcome back to a brand new movie review. I'm Chris Garner, joined today with Tayte to give our review on the Lego Ninjago movie, which actually came out for us last week in the UK. So we're a little bit later on this one. It actually feels like it's been a while since we've done one of these movie reviews as well. Our last one was Blade Runner 2049. I guess there's been movies coming out, but there haven't been that many movies coming out that we actually want to see. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is obviously the 2017 computer animated comedy film. It's the third installment in this new Lego movie franchise, I guess we can call it now, following on from Lego Movie, Lego Batman movie, and now we have Lego Ninjago movie. So you saw this one way before me, and you kind of prepped me that it's probably, I think it's fair to say right off the bat, it's the weakest one of the three so far.
Well, let's put it this way. This movie has a 6.1 on IMDb, 55 on Metascore. I don't think that's fair. I think it should be lower. This film was very weak.
Yeah.
But saying that, it's the best animated film so far this year, which is devastating. We'll talk about the state of animated films a little bit later on, but saying that this not so steaming but still a pile of trash is the best thing that animated films can give this year so far, apart from Loving Vincent, is horrifying. It was, the best way of putting this film, whilst we're in the non-spoiler section, is that every element that you can take from the first two Lego films is downgraded. This film can't decide whether it wants to be appealing to all ages, being a film which adults can enjoy and kids can enjoy as well, or a film that's just all out for kids. It sits in that weird neutral zone where it doesn't please either party. It's a mess, to say the least. The story is not comprehensive. The acting is very poor in many cases, including the star power that they have behind this film. I think the only voice actor that I actually enjoyed from this film was Justin Theroux's Garmadon. That's it. He was the only person I enjoyed. Everyone else felt annoying. Characters who you just couldn't get behind. It even got to the stage where, because they have so many characters who are ninjas as part of this force, you start to lose track of which one is which, other than the blonde one who has the power of green, the robot, the one who powers water, and then the other two who no one cares about. That's basically it.
Yeah, so I think, like, basically what you just said there, out of all the Lego movies we've had so far, this is definitely the one that's geared towards kids the most. And that's because it's based on the Lego Ninjago TV series. I haven't watched the TV series. I think for the most part, this is sort of, it's still set in that same world of Ninjago, but they've done something completely different. Like, it's a new origin story for them all. It's not in continuity with that TV show. But like, I'm looking at things in this, like with the giant mechs and stuff, and Garmadon, who lives in a volcano, who makes mechs that are in the shape of sharks, and he's got like
weird obsession with sharks.
It's a really like weird blend, and the whole thing of him like attacking the city and the Ninjago team stop him, and then he comes back with something else. You can see that that would be like an episodic structure in the TV show. Like, I don't know if it's like that. If someone's seen the TV show, and I'm completely off base on that, then comment down below. But I can imagine it's like every episode, Garmadon tries to come back with a new harebrained scheme to take over Ninjago, and he fails every single time. So and we talked about like it being a bit of a mess of a film, and I agree with that. And I think when you first saw it, you messaged me and said that more or less the first half of the movie is in that similar style to Lego Movie, where it is throwing more adult jokes in there. There's a lot more background gags and funny laugh out loud things, and then the second half does kind of resort to just being, you know, an all out kids movie. I will agree with that. And actually, this movie has 3 directors and 6 screenwriters. So, like, when you look at Lego Movie, for example, and that had the very tight-knit writing team and directing team of Phil Lord and Chris Miller. I'm
assuming, I'm not going to lie, because there is live-action segments to this. Not much, but I'm assuming there was a completely different director for those scenes to the animation directors.
We should say as well that this is going to be spoiler filled. This review.
We'll spoiler it from now because
we may as well.
What we've basically told you so far is this is a very weak film. Don't go see it. If I was telling people, I would not tell people to go see this film. I think it's a complete waste of time. I'd give this maybe a 5.5 at most. I think Metascore got it right by saying it was a 55 rated film. It really is a bumpy film, and it's never settles, and it's something that you can't really get behind. All the characters are very fickle in this film. 1 minute they hate one person for no apparent reason, even though the purpose of them being friends together is that they're aware of the situation, they're understanding of it. And then they suddenly turn around and hate the main character, even though the situation hasn't changed. It makes absolutely no sense to any of the characters' motivations or any of the characters' stories. No characters really have an individual moment which stands out to them. Not even the main character, to say the least.
There's one moment in the film that I really did like, and I was getting a bit touched by it. Like, I thought it was pretty moving, but that's like one scene in like a 90-minute movie, you know?
Some of the gags in this film just did not pay off.
Yeah, no, I agree. For me, I'm not going to recommend it in the sense of like Lego Movie, one of my favorite animated films. Go and see it. Lego Batman, it's a really fun ride. Go and see it. This is just like an easy watch. If there's nothing else out, if you're a parent, for example, and you've got kids that want to see it, this will be one that you won't get invested in. You will like sleep or something in the cinema. They'll probably get wrapped up in it with like the mechs and things like that. It is very much outfitted to kids, this one. And I know that the other ones were, but there was enough in there, like Lego Batman Movie. They referenced all the old Batman movies. So anyone who's a fan of Batman or has seen the live action Batman films, there was something there. Lego Movie was, had some very clever jokes in there. That's probably one of the best comedy scripts I've seen in a movie in a long time. This one didn't really get anything from that. And even the actual plot of this film is just very safe. It hits on pretty much all the same themes that the other two Lego movies have. It deals with like a whole father and son dynamic, which we had in Lego Movie with the live action segment with, oh God, what's he called? Villain in Zoolander.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell, that's it, thank you. You had the live action segment there, and essentially that whole movie was basically a kid trying to, build a better relationship with his dad. In Lego Batman, you have Batman trying to become more of a father role and be the foster father of Robin. And then in this one, you have Lloyd and Garmadon trying to reconcile his very, turbulent relationship with his father. So it's exactly the same stuff. And the live action segment as well, which was in the first Lego Movie, which I know some people don't like. I actually really liked that they included that. I thought that was pretty much like the main core heart of that film. You didn't get that in Lego Batman, which I thought was fine. In this one, at the beginning of the film and at the end, they bookend it with a live action segment with Jackie Chan. But it doesn't have any relevance to what's going on in the film. It's just Jackie Chan going, I'm going to tell you a story of Ninjago, and that's it. It didn't need to be there. It felt like it was an afterthought, like one of the writers said, oh, we need to try and chase after what made Lego Movie great. We need to throw it in there. It just doesn't have any point or purpose to the film. I'd still recommend it if you just want to check it out, if you're curious, if you've seen the other two, but go into it knowing that it's not going to hit the heights of Lego Movie or even some of the fast-paced jokes that Lego Batman had.
And here's the thing. I can't even remember how this film ends. And that's terrible because this film, ended, or I finished watching it a week ago. I saw it, and I cannot remember the ending. Do you know what? The lesson that I got from this film was, if your dad is an evil villain and you're a hero, if you try and get to know your dad better and trust your dad for a short period of time, he will still turn evil in the end. That's all I got from this film. That is genuinely all I got from this film. That was the biggest standout for me. I'm starting to remember the ending now. It has the whole cat being hypnotized and him being.
I did like that. I thought that was clever.
That was a cool joke in the trailer. But if they removed that from the trailer and had that just in the film, it would have made it so much better. they revealed their best and only joke in the film in the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, there was a lot of jokes in the trailer that didn't make it into the film. That's kind of a running thing with the Lego movies. They must like record so much stuff, shoot loads of stuff, animate loads of stuff, and then just not make it into the movie. But no, so go on. Sorry.
What I was going to say was the one thing that annoys me the most is the forgettable characters in this film.
Yeah.
The only reason why
huge ensemble cast, though, haven't you, with all these ninjas, and basically the only defining trait they have is whatever power they have, and they never get much focus.
The reason why I remembered the main character's name was because of the trailers.
Yeah,
and that's it. Like, if I hadn't watched the trailers and went into the film and came out of it, I wouldn't know any of the characters' names other than Garmadon, and that's it.
Yeah,
that ain't good.
No, that's definitely a failure. And as I say, with a TV show, you've got episodes and episodes, you've got seasons where you can establish all these characters. As I say, I haven't seen the TV show. Maybe it's like that. I don't know. But even if we're comparing it to the other Lego movies that have come out, the first Lego movie had a big ensemble cast in terms of its characters. You had Emmett, you had Wildstyle, you had Morgan Freeman's character, Vitruvius, Charlie Day, Spaceman, Batman, Princess Unikitty, Metalbeard. So that's like 8 right there. And I can remember the names. And yes, I have seen Lego Movie a bunch of times compared to this one. But even that, a film that probably had about the same running time as this movie, established its characters and personality a lot better than it did with this movie. And even Jackie Chan's character in this film, I was interested to see his character. I like Jackie Chan. I think he's a fun voice actor as well. If you look at the Kung Fu Panda films as Monkey, I like Jackie Chan. And really, live action or in animated form in this film, he just didn't do anything for me. The jokes just didn't land.
In fact, the only interesting thing about this film is the outtakes at the very end of him trying to catch with the cup.
That was good. I liked that.
That was more entertaining than the entire film.
I'm not going to say that there was nothing in this film that didn't entertain me. I liked some of the jokes in there. One of my favorite ones was Lloyd's getting picked on at school, and they say like it's like a cheerleading team, and they start singing "Boo Lloyd," and he's like, "Oh yeah, great guys, you're gonna have a #1 single there." And the film cuts, and it's like, "And now at #1, it's Boo Lloyd," and I was like, "Okay, jokes like that I like." Some of the background characters were funny as well. I liked the music. There
was one joke which felt really out of place, but stood out heavily, which is a joke which only older people would get. But if younger people start guessing on what that is, then I can see many problems. There was a joke about a 4-letter long swear word.
Yeah, no, I thought that was,
that really did not fit into the film.
No, I didn't mind that one. It was okay.
Look, we didn't mind that one, but obviously the kids are going to start asking questions.
I think it's fine. I don't think that was offensive or anything like that. Or
no, it's not that it's offensive. It's just that in a kids' film, you can kind of. The way I put it is, SpongeBob works perfectly with comedy with kids because there are some jokes which are double entendre, which kids will interpret one way and adults will interpret another. That was just straight up. There was only one way of interpreting that joke. And that isn't like a double entendre. That is just straight up, this is a joke for adults. Kids, you won't laugh at this bit.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I didn't have a problem with that joke.
I feel like that's where this film is failing. It's trying to appeal to everyone, but only appeals to kids.
Yeah. No, the writing is definitely what lets this film down. There are a few other things that I liked as well. Like you get a couple of moments where Jackie Chan's character, Master Wu, is playing a song on the flute. And he plays like "Welcome to the Jungle" by Guns N' Roses.
Oh yeah, no, that was okay. Yeah,
I liked stuff like that. And just, when Lloyd is running back home as well, another one plays, and I can't remember which song it is on the flute. "Hard Knock Life," isn't it, from Annie?
Yeah,
stuff like that was fine. My favorite in this, hands down, was Garmadon though. Like he stole every single scene that he was in. Brilliantly voice acted. One of my favorite scenes in the film as well is where he talks about his past of how he met Lloyd's mum in the first place.
Yeah,
that they were on the battlefield, and you get this flashback, and they were both leaders and conquerors of opposing sides, and they locked eyes across the battlefield. He wanted to rule the world, and she didn't. She wanted a different life for her son, and they split up. I thought that was a really touching moment in the film. And the film needed more moments like that, because the film really shined when you had Lloyd and Garmadon, and they had moments together where they were trying to reconcile. Garmadon would be teaching him like how to catch and things like that, like general dad things. That was when it was really good. I liked their interactions. It was kind of just everything else surrounding the film that I didn't really care about. And even at the end as well, where Garmadon gets eaten by the cat, by Meowthra, and then Lloyd goes up and he basically just opens up and says that he wants a relationship with his dad, but he kind of addresses it towards the cat, but Garmadon can hear it from inside. Again, basically like the ending of Lego Movie, right? When Emmett is like being channeled through the live action kid, talking to his dad, and Emmett's talking to President Business. It's exactly the same thing. But then again, I wasn't really excited for this movie because I don't know Ninjago, and I thought it was a very strange idea for them to bring it out. And after seeing Lego Movie and Lego Batman Movie, I really enjoyed Lego Batman. It wasn't quite as good as Lego Movie, but I was thinking, you know, they've got this down now. They're on a winning streak. Like Lego can do no wrong.
They just wanted to cash in.
Yeah,
they saw this as an option. It was a bad decision, I think, personally.
Do you think they're going to like rethink their whole schedule? Now, they haven't like confirmed films. I think they've confirmed Lego Movie 2, but I thought that was a foregone conclusion anyway.
Yeah.
They haven't announced anything else.
I think they'll think a bit more wisely about what material they go for. Like I said, Lego Movie 1 worked very well, being like basically the best advert I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I genuinely think that with this one, they shouldn't have taken the risk by going with material that everyone might not know. They should have gone for something that people know. Yeah. And whether that be a Lego Star Wars movie or a Lego
superheroes, like they've done Batman, but you've got like Justice League, you've got Marvel. Yeah. They haven't done anything with Marvel yet. I don't even know if they have the rights to do that with a film.
I think they have the rights to everything, I want to say.
Because, like, in terms of the merchandise, they've got Marvel characters, the video games. They've done Lego Marvel, they've done Lego Shield. But in terms of the films, you have the Justice League characters there, but you don't have any Marvel characters. And that's because this is done by Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
And I don't know if in terms of the films, there's that.
Ninjago was... They could have done it better. They could have done it differently. Yeah. They went for the kid angle. It didn't work. They've now got to completely rethink on what they're doing, especially for Lego Movie 2.
But could this movie have been good? Could they have done something with this movie to shake away from the Ninjago brand and make it something accessible to
with
the audience?
The material I have seen, no. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah. I really don't have anything in terms of the animation itself. Like, it's still great. It's exactly the same as the other Lego movies, essentially.
Yeah, but here's the thing: as far as enjoyment is concerned, like, I'm not going to say the animation was worse, but because the film was less enjoyable, you kind of almost it's like
a bit more critical of it.
Yeah.
I thought it looked just as good, but then again, when you first saw Lego Movie and it almost looked like it was made with real figures, it almost looked like it was stop motion. Like when they do a close-up of the pieces, there might be like little cracks or like sort of like thumbprints. It looked like it was like an actual weathered, used Lego figure. And they kind of do that with this, but I mean, you've done it with Lego Movie, you've done it with Lego Batman, now you've done it with Lego Ninjago, that you can't really zone in on the animation anymore and say, like, that's new, that's outstanding. It's really good animation, but it's exactly the same as the other two movies. And I know that you can't break the mold very much when it comes to Lego and minifigures and everything like that. But you can't even, like, I've seen some bad films, like bad animated films, but I can go, at least the animation was great. This, I can't even say that really. Like, it was just sort of like all part and parcel. It was just like a vacuous experience watching this movie. I chuckled a few times, but it's really not up there. And
saying that, it's still the best animated film we've seen this year.
It is. Yeah. Hopefully later this year with was it Life of Vincent? Is that what it's called?
Loving Vincent.
Loving Vincent
is out now, but it's limited release. And then we've also got Coco, which I don't think.
I'm looking forward to Coco. I really am. I think that has a good chance of winning.
Here's the thing. last year was phenomenal as far as animated films were
You had
concerned.
Zootopia, you had
Zootopia, Moana, Kubo and the Two Strings, even the two other nominated, My Life is Courgette and The Red Turtle,
yeah,
were all phenomenal pieces. Maybe this year for animated, if I was going to guess what would be nominated so far from what we've seen this year, Loving Vincent and Your Name are the two lead runners as far as I'm concerned. Your Name being a humongous hit out in America and also Japan. We then have Coco probably coming in. Cars 3 will get nominated even though it shouldn't be. And then we've got that fifth spot, that final spot, which has got to be filled up by something. I don't think Lego Batman or Ninjago would get that spot. I think it'd probably go to something like Captain Underpants or something like that.
Here's the thing, though. If we remember Lego Movie, and I still think this is one of the biggest Oscar snubs of all time, Lego Movie didn't get nominated for Best Animated Film because I think people argued you had that whole live action segment in there, so it didn't qualify as inherently an animated film, which is completely bullshit. You have that in this movie, though, as well. With Lego Ninjago, you have that whole live action segment. So will this not qualify?
I believe they changed the ruling after that because that was a pretty big snub. Although there was a lot of snubs that year, that was a heavy snub year. Not as much as last year, which kind of went to what we would say schedule.
Because if we go with that, like Loving Vincent, that was shot on camera first, live action, and then it's been
it was shot like it's shot like A Scanner Darkly.
Yeah.
So the way they did that was they shot the entire film first, and then they animated over the top of it. That was an animated film. With Loving Vincent, they shot the entire film first, and then they painstakingly painted over every single scene. So it's a bit like the old Mickey cartoons, Mickey Mouse cartoons, where every single scene is drawn out individually, the old school style of animation. But with this, they just painting over the frames.
Yeah.
Which I believe counts as animation. I believe it's counting as an animated film. It definitely isn't a standard film. It's definitely animated. But yeah, no. Anyway, I can't say anything more about.
That's me too. I'd still I wouldn't recommend it highly, but if there's nothing else on, and if you've got kids and the kids want to see it, then it'll shut them up for like 90 minutes. It's a fairly easy sit. It's not offensive or anything like that. Just it's really kind of boring, and that depresses me saying that about a Lego Movie because up until this point I've really enjoyed them, and now it's kind of made me look at them a bit more critically from here on in. But that'll do it for our review of the Lego Ninjago movie. Be sure to comment, subscribe, let us know what you thought of this movie. How would you rank it next to the other Lego movies? Which Lego movies would you like to see in the future? Which properties do you think you can make? Anything Lego related, please do drop us a comment. Be sure to hit the bell icon as well so you get a notification every time we bring out something new. You're heading back to Austria next week, but we still have a lot more content coming out next week. You're going to be on a few reviews this weekend. We're trying to get another Battle of Brackets together, Battle of the Brackets, sorry. And next week we'll have our review on Thor Ragnarok, which will definitely be a big one. When we do the Marvel ones, we're definitely on like a call for like an hour, hour and a half, talking about the entire cinematic universe. That's going to be good. So that'll do it from us today. And until the next video, we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.